What if I told you that your negative thoughts aren't real? They're just stories your mind keeps replaying to protect you from pain. But here's the truth. Those stories are destroying you. They make you overthink, compare, doubt, and suffer over things that haven't even happened. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they faced betrayal, loss, exile, and death. Yet they remained unshaken. Why? Because they understood one thing. Your mind is your kingdom, and your thoughts are your soldiers. In this video, you'll discover 7 brutal Stoic laws that will completely rewire your thinking, crush negativity, and build a calm, disciplined, unbreakable mind. Let's begin. 1. Control what you can, accept what you can't. This is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, and the first step in destroying negative thinking. The Stoics believed that most human suffering comes not from events themselves, but from our resistance to them. We waste endless energy trying to control things that are completely outside our reach. Other people's opinions, outcomes, the past, or the future. And when those things don't bend to our will, we fall into anxiety, frustration, and self-doubt. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That single line contains an entire philosophy for peace. The moment you focus only on what you can control, your actions, your words, your effort, your mindset, life becomes simpler, quieter, lighter. The noise fades. When something negative happens, stop and ask yourself one simple question. Is this within my control? If the answer is no, release it. Don't fight the tide. Let it flow past you. If the answer is yes, then act decisively, without overthinking, without delay. This shift in focus transforms pain into clarity. You can't control how others treat you, but you can control how you respond. You can't control the outcome, but you can control your effort. This mindset doesn't make you passive, it makes you powerful, because the man who masters his response controls his world. 2. Perception is everything. The second brutal Stoic law that will crush your negative thinking is simple, yet profoundly powerful. Your perception shapes your reality. The Stoics understood a truth most people ignore. It's not events that disturb us, but the way we interpret them. Life is neutral. Everything that happens, i.e., the traffic jam, the harsh comment, the failed opportunity, is neither good nor bad on its own. It's your mind that assigns meaning, creating pain, stress, or disappointment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." Think about that. Every moment of anxiety or negativity exists not because the world is cruel, but because your mind has chosen to see it as such. Here's the key. Negative thinking is a habit of misperception. Your mind exaggerates the threat, magnifies the loss, and predicts doom, often for events that will never happen. The Stoics teach you to pause and step back. Ask yourself, am I seeing this clearly? Or am I just adding layers of fear and judgment? The way to rewire your thinking is to train your mind to see events as neutral, or even as opportunities. A breakup, not a tragedy, a chance to grow stronger. A failure at work, not proof of incompetence, a lesson in resilience. By changing how you perceive challenges, you remove the emotional fuel that feeds negativity. Perception is not just a mindset. It's your superpower. Master it and life stops controlling you. You start controlling your life. Your thoughts stop being your jailer and you step into the freedom of a Stoic mind. 3. Embrace discomfort. The third Stoic law that will crush negative thinking is brutal, yet transformative. Embrace discomfort. Most people live their lives avoiding pain at all costs. They chase comfort, convenience, and security, and in doing so, they weaken their minds. Anxiety, fear, and negativity thrive in comfort because the mind has no challenges to overcome. The Stoics, however, understood the opposite. Discomfort is the path to strength. Marcus Aurelius faced plague, war, and betrayal. Epictetus was born a slave, yet they cultivated peace of mind and inner resilience, not by avoiding hardship, but by deliberately stepping into it. They knew that every challenge is training for the mind, just like a weight trains the body. You don't have to face extreme adversity to practice this law. Start small. Wake up early, take a cold shower, sit in silence, fast for a day, or face a fear you've been avoiding. Every time you voluntarily endure discomfort, you're sending a powerful message to your brain. I am stronger than fear. I am stronger than my habits. The result is astonishing. The mind becomes calm in chaos, steady in adversity, and immune to trivial worries. Pain no longer triggers panic or negativity. It becomes a teacher, a test, a tool for growth. The Stoics didn't run from struggle. They ran toward it. They understood that comfort weakens you, but discomfort sharpens you. If you want to kill negative thinking and build an unshakable mind, stop avoiding hardship, embrace it, welcome it, let it forge you into someone unstoppable. 4. Practice voluntary hardship. The fourth Stoic law is a mindset so powerful it can instantly reshape your mental resilience. Practice voluntary hardship. While most people avoid discomfort like the plague, the Stoics actively sought it. Seneca, one of history's greatest Stoic philosophers, deliberately slept on the floor, wore rough clothing, and ate sparingly. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to remind himself that true strength comes from enduring what most people run from. Why is this so crucial for crushing negative thinking? Because fear, anxiety, and negativity only control those who rely on comfort. When you constantly surround yourself with ease, your mind interprets minor challenges as catastrophic. But when you voluntarily face hardship, you train your mind to remain calm and steady, no matter the circumstances. You don't need to live like a philosopher from 2,000 years ago. Start small. Skip your favorite indulgence, take a cold shower, or fast for a few hours. Sit in silence and face your restlessness instead of running from it. Each act of voluntary hardship is a mental exercise, strengthening your ability to endure discomfort without fear or frustration. Over time, you'll notice something profound. Life's challenges no longer overwhelm you. Setbacks, criticism, or failure become mere obstacles, not emotional catastrophes. You stop being a victim of circumstance and start being the architect of your mind. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Strength is not built in comfort. It is forged in intentional struggle, repeated discipline, and facing what most avoid. Practice voluntary hardship, and you'll crush negative thinking before it ever has the chance to take hold. 5. Death is your greatest teacher. The fifth Stoic law is brutal yet liberating. Remember that you will die. Memento mori, remember you must die, was a mantra for the Stoics, not to scare them, but to awaken them. Most people waste their lives trapped in petty worries, regrets, or meaningless distractions because they behave as if they have infinite time. The Stoics faced death regularly, both in thought and reality, and they discovered a shocking truth. Recognizing mortality gives you complete clarity. It forces you to focus on what truly matters and discard what doesn't. You start responding instead of reacting. Anxiety, overthinking, and regret lose their grip because you're no longer a passive victim of your mind. You are the conscious observer, the one in control. Daily practice makes this instinctual. Meditate, journal, or simply pause throughout your day to notice your thoughts without judgment. Over time, you'll find that your mind naturally defaults to clarity and composure. By observing rather than absorbing, you reclaim your mental freedom. Negative thinking is no longer a flood you must survive. It becomes a passing cloud powerless against the unwavering sky of your Stoic mind. 7. Amor fati. Love your fate. The seventh and final Stoic law is the most powerful of all. Amor fati. Love your fate. Most people tolerate life's hardships, complain about setbacks, or curse their circumstances. The Stoics took it a step further. They didn't just accept life, they embraced it, loved it, and used every event, good or bad, as fuel for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action." What stands in the way becomes the way. Every obstacle, challenge, or difficulty is not a curse. It is a lesson, an opportunity, a stepping stone. Loving your fate doesn't mean passivity or resignation. It means actively choosing to see everything that happens, even failure, loss, or betrayal, as essential to your journey. The moment you adopt this mindset, negativity loses its power. Misfortune becomes your teacher, criticism becomes insight, and pain becomes a tool for mastery. This law rewires your mind at the deepest level. You stop fighting life. You stop wishing for what isn't. You stop resisting reality. Instead, you align your mind with the universe, accepting its flow while remaining unshaken. Every challenge becomes a test of your Stoic strength. Every disappointment is reframed as an opportunity. Life no longer feels like a series of misfortunes, but like a perfectly designed path to growth, resilience, and wisdom. Amor fati transforms your relationship with life itself. When you truly love your fate, negative thinking has no foothold. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the master of your mind, calm, unbreakable, and free. Negative thinking is a virus, but Stoicism is the cure. Control what you can, perceive things clearly, embrace discomfort, remember death, observe your thoughts, love your fate. That's how you build an unbreakable mind, not by avoiding pain, but by mastering it. As Marcus Aurelius said, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. This is Stoicism. This is mental freedom. And this is how you kill your negative thinking for good. Negative thinking often arises from fear of failure, of judgment, of loss. But death puts all these fears in perspective. When you realize your time is limited, you stop sweating the small stuff. Arguments, setbacks, and disappointments shrink in significance. Life's challenges become temporary, manageable, and even meaningful. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." The Stoic mind uses mortality as motivation. It teaches urgency, focus, and appreciation for every moment. To rewire your mind against negativity, remind yourself daily that your time is finite. Visualize the impermanence of life, your problems, fears, and failures, and watch how they lose power over you. When you embrace death as your greatest teacher, negative thinking fades. You stop being a prisoner of imagined disasters and start living with purpose, courage, and clarity. Death is not to be feared. It is the ultimate teacher, one that compels you to live, think, and act like a Stoic. 6. Observe, don't absorb. The sixth Stoic law is subtle but devastatingly effective. Observe your thoughts, don't absorb them. Most people believe they are their thoughts. When fear, anger, jealousy, or self-doubt arise, they react, spiral, and let negativity control their lives. The Stoics saw things differently. They understood that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer behind them. Thoughts are like clouds drifting across the sky. You don't need to chase them, resist them, or cling to them. You just watch. Epictetus said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." The key is creating distance. When a negative thought surfaces, don't fight it. Don't identify with it. Simply note it. Ah, there's fear, there's anger. Naming the thought separates it from your identity, stripping it of power. This practice rewires your mind. Instead of being hijacked by negativity, you become calm, steady, and clear-headed.